Hey everyone, it's Jenny Garcia, and in this video I have a layout and a pocket page, and this is for my Disney album. I finally figured out my setup, so now it's easier to work on the pocket pages. Before I only was working on the layouts because the layouts you can put in the album and it's not that important, but for the pocket pages you really need to have your setup ready. So all the pictures are in the album. Now I actually have to start working on it. So this is one of the princesses that got the most pictures. This is Ariel, and that background cut file is from Paper Issues, and it actually has a really nice border that you can put on other paper, but since I'm using 9x12 layouts, I just made the cut file a little bit bigger, that way that line wouldn't appear, and this is the result. And it's gonna be really busy, so between all the photos on the side of the pocket page and the crazy pattern that I'm gonna do on this, that even though it's a lot, I really like how it turned out, but it can be a lot to the eye, so be ready for that. So now I'm looking through the little pieces to see what I'm gonna use to fill those scales, and I'm actually using a mix. I'm using one of my DIY kits, the Imagine Dad DIY Project Life kit, and I'm using the kit that Danny from Pop Fizz Paper sent me because there were elements of both that I wanted to use, and this album is already giving me a hard time, so I figured that I don't make it worse by sticking to one kit. It's okay if I mix it, and it wasn't that much big of a deal for the paper, so I'm gonna use a lot of this kit, and I think I also used some of the phrase stickers and the little hearts that I cut out from these words material. I actually like that I use this material. I think it's vinyl. Then I have that one that is sequins, and this is mostly to make earrings and people that make bows and things like that, but I figured that I could use it to make hearts, and I like how it turned out, but it was hard, so I got a little bit of material left. So with that material I'm gonna fill a few of the spaces, and I wanted to use this kit because the 6x6 paper pad from Echo Park had those mermaids, and I thought it was perfect for this layout. And I cut the pattern the wrong way. I wasn't paying attention. It has shells, so I cut another piece with the shells in the right direction. I'm sorry for my head in there. And this is the material that I love the most. It's like scales, and I'm gonna use that quite a lot, and I also use those for the little hearts that I'm gonna use on the pocket page side. And to put all those cutouts on the cut file, I'm gonna use the Tombow Mono Multi-Liquid Glue, and what I did was use the scales that were already cut, and I cut around them, and I will also use the Tombow mono removable adhesive, because that way I don't have to hold on to the stencil too hard. I can just put it on top of the material and cut around and then peel it off super easily, so it worked out perfect. And this took me a while, took me a few hours, and I'm not very good with cut files, but I loved the final result. And for 3 of the scales I'm gonna do little shaker pockets, and I really love how that turned out. I made that scale a little bit bigger than the stencil, that way I could glue it behind without having any troubles. And I'm going to use my scoop to put the sequence that I made for this kit in the little pockets, and I actually almost ran out. I was thinking about making more, because if I use the kit in the future I don't have any sequin mixes, but I haven't decided. Maybe if I use the kit again and I need more sequins, then I'll do it at the moment. And I'm doing everything with my fuse tool. I love my fuse tool. One thing that I should tell you is that to leave it on for a little while before you work on things. What I normally do is that if I know that I'm going to use it, I turn it on and then do whatever I have to do. And when I'm almost finishing, that I can finally know for sure that the tool is hot, then I use it. It makes a lot of a difference. And I also use just a chipboard piece instead of the glass mat. I thought it was a lot easier, than it kind of grips onto the chipboard, and it's a million times better and cheaper. And this mix has a bunch of little pieces that are actually nail glitter kind of thing that I got at Wish. And it looks really cute, but it's kind of a pain in the booty to move, and it sticks to the containers, so that's what I'm doing, trying to pick it up and add it to the scales. And sometimes I like to make pages that are a little bit smaller, because either I need an insert, or my week wasn't that busy, so I may need 12 by 12 and a 6 by 12. So those extras that are left over, I don't throw them out. I keep them for moments like this when I have to make shakers, and that is what I'm using to make these. That way I don't have to use a new one. I don't have to use a 12 by 12 that it's new. And those little containers, you can get them at Dollar Tree. That is where I keep the sequin mixes for my DIY Project Life kits. Now I'm gonna glue it to the back of the cut file, and I'm gonna use the Tombow Extreme Permanent Adhesive. This adhesive is the best in the planet for plastic. It works like a charm. It's perfect. And I'm actually going to use it for the whole back of this cut file, because I have so many textures and it's a lot. I want to make sure that it stays in there. And on the back it looks like a mess. I'm very messy with cut files, and I'm awful with them, but in the front you can't see it, so that's what matters. And since this is a 9 by 12, it's very exact. The height is exactly that, so I don't want to cut anything extra. So I was very carefully lining everything up, and I'm going to be really generous with the adhesive because I don't want anything to come off. And if you do this and you're going to use shaker pieces, make sure the shaker pieces don't touch the corners, because I mean, you could fuse it once you cut it, but it could be difficult and it's just more trouble. So make sure it's just at the center. So it's a really busy background, so I don't need to add anything else, but I really wanted to. I didn't want to use tissue paper because tissue paper doesn't last too long. It gets yellowish. So I use that transparency, and it's from Crate Paper. I think it's from Heart Day, recollection like that. I love clears. I don't know, lately I am crazy about them. I want the photo to pop up a little bit, so I'm going to use the foam tape from Tombow. And I got a bunch of photos from Ariel only, but they were laughing so much and it was so cute, and the faces look adorable too. And I have one card, and I think that card is an old one, and it might be from me and my big ideas, and that's where I'm gonna write my journaling. These stickers are called Wild, and I think they're from Amy Tangerine, but I am not completely sure. But I'm just gonna use them to write beautiful smiles. And I had to stop myself from embellishing because I do wanted a few embellishments, but it was already really busy. So I'm just gonna put a few of those asterisks and a few metal pieces that I had to get from my drawer of white embellishments, and they actually work really well. I'm actually gonna use that one too. That one was in the kit. It's just a few leaves. I opened the embellishment box that Danny sent me to see if I could use anything else, and I almost used the flowers, but I was gonna paint them and realized that it might be too much, and I didn't want to cover the shaker pockets. So I found a few little leaves that came in a Freckle Fawn kit a long time ago, and I had no idea what to do with those until now. Now they're quite difficult to glue because they're really thin, so the adhesive didn't really stay on them. Even though I tried to put it all around, I tried with the extreme adhesive and with the Mono Plus adhesive, and then I figured that I could use the Tombow Extreme tabs, which are like adhesive dots, but they're a little bit thicker, a lot stronger. So I'm gonna use those to keep the metal leaves in there. Yeah, because they're metal too, so you can bend them a little bit. They're really easy to hide, and while I was working with the photo, making the background, my fingers were full of glue, so I kept touching the photo accidentally and made it all dirty. So I decided to reprint it again, and I actually got the ladies a bit closer to the frame, so I actually like it better, and I love it. Between the mermaid scale things, the actual mermaids, all the patterns, I love that side. So this side, I knew that I had to be a little bit more careful with my embellishments, so I'm gonna try to calm myself, but the fact that they were mostly pictures helped out a lot. And the page protector I'm using is Design G, which is my best friend for this layout. And I forgot the first time that I put all the photos in the album, I used Design G, and then I realized that Design G is actually 10 by 12 and not 9 by 12. And when my brain finally caught on it, like right in the last day, I always get it in the last day, I realized that I would have to change everything and get new page protectors and everything. When I got everything the second time in that album, I realized that it was going to be way too thick, that nothing fit, so I switched to a 12 by 12 We Are Memory Keepers album. So that's what I'm using right now. I never thought that I would use a huge album like that for the trip, but it's mostly the memorabilia that I kept. A lot of it is chunky, but I don't mind. It was such a great trip. I really don't mind having a giant album, and I took so many photos. And this is in the line to see Little Mermaid. It's like you're entering a cave underwater. So my daughter was looking outside and I snapped a picture. And I love these stickers that Danny sent me in the kit she made me, so I'm gonna use those a lot. I used to have them and I have like one left, maybe. So I was really glad when she included that in the kit. And those little hearts are also made with a scale kind of material that I got that material from eBay. And you do have, when you cut it, to run it through your machine a few times, but it looks really cute. And I'm using the Glitter Girl tape, and the purple one, it worked fine for for a few photos, and then it was like the paint was peeling and it looked ugly, and I was very disappointed because it was such a pretty color. So I don't know if that's normal. I don't know if I should contact the company, because that was like one of the reasons I got the rolls, or scrapbook.com, which is where I got it. I don't know what to do. And I'm also gonna add a little bit of stamping. In this kit I have stamps from Studio Calico and Altnia, and that one said "A Little Magic." And I actually lost that stamp for like a few minutes, and I was freaking out because I still have to do like a bunch of Harry Potter pages, like, and that is the only magic related stamp that I have. I've been wanting to get one, but I'm not sure. We'll see. And the box is the one where I keep my embellishments for this kit. I got the box at Dollar Tree, which is the best place ever for this kind of organizing. They're not tools, things to organize. The best place for things to organize. They're really cheap and they work really well. Those are my two main places to buy things to organize: Dollar Tree, IKEA, and those little baskets you can buy at Walmart to put inside the drawers. And in this kit, I also have alphas that I cut using the scale sort of material. And I look for the words to spell Ariel. And that's what I'm doing right now. I would use otherwise my adhesive runner, but the back of these are not paper. They're like fabric-ish. So that is why I'm using the mono-multi liquid glue. And that's all I'm gonna do to that one. And to write my journaling, I use the Tombow Twin Tone. I think this one is from the Rainbow set. I love them all. I love to journal using this Tombow Twin Tones. Makes it a little bit less boring. So this layout, it's a lot. It has silver and sequins and scales and shimmer and a lot of things, and somehow I love it. But I hope you could see the scales up close when I showed the layout, because they look really, really beautiful. And actually you can see them here too in the little heart. And the pictures that are not posed are my favorite. And that's what Project Life is all about. It's not, well, in my opinion, in my book, in my Project Life, I try not to have too many post pictures because I wanted to capture everything organically as it happens, and that's my favorite way to do it. So I hope you enjoyed this layout and these pocket pages. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more Disney, make sure you subscribe and click the bell to get notifications when I post a new video. Have an awesome day, guys. Bye.